When Switzerland and Qatar face off to open Group B of the World Cup, bettors are immediately confronted with a massive disparity in talent in recent form. On paper, this matchup projects less like a competitive contest and more like an avalanche hitting a wooden fence. Switzerland cruised through a notoriously difficult European qualifying schedule completely undefeated, racking up a dominant 14-2 goal differential. They take the field anchored by an experienced veteran spine, led by Granit Xhaka, built to dictate the pace and possession of a match. Compare that to Qatar, who arrive at this tournament without a single win in their last 6 matches, dropping games to lower-tier sides. There is also the historical weight of Qatar's appearance at the 2022 World Cup, failing to win a single match as the host nation. Because a Swiss victory is a statistical near certainty, simply predicting who wins this game provides absolutely zero edge to a sports bettor. Currently, the moneyline odds for a straight Switzerland victory sit at an overwhelming -550. This chart shows the mathematical reality of that price. You have to risk $550 just to yield a $100 profit. Tying up that much bankroll for a meager 18% return is incredibly inefficient. That is dead money. The dilemma is figuring out how to manufacture actual, mathematically sound returns on this match without exposing your capital to reckless, low-probability parlays. Successfully betting a favorite this heavy requires abandoning the money line entirely and wagering strictly on the margin of victory. The most straightforward alternative to the money line is the spread, specifically the Swiss -1.5 goal line. Looking at this comparison matrix, you can see how the required investment improves. You only need to lay a -150 price tag to get in. The required game script is straightforward. Switzerland must win by exactly 2 or more goals to cash your ticket. If they execute, this bet yields a 66% return on your investment, vastly outperforming the straight money line. However, this structure exposes you to a specific risk: the backdoor cover. The nightmare scenario for this wager occurs when Switzerland builds a 2-0 lead, but mentally checks out and concedes a meaningless, garbage-time goal to Qatar in the final minutes. While the -1.5 line improves your payout, it forces you to sweat out the end of the game, hoping a severely outmatched Qatari offense doesn't get one lucky bounce. That leads to a more advanced alternative designed to mitigate some of that risk: the -1.75 Asian handicap, currently sitting at near even money odds of -114. This decision tree shows how an Asian line functions. A single wager automatically splits into 2 equal buckets. Half of your money plays on -1.5 and half plays on -2.0. In the best case scenario, if Switzerland delivers a blowout and wins by 3 or more goals, both buckets win for the maximum payout. The real advantage is the safety net. If Switzerland only wins by exactly 2 goals, you get a half win on the 1.5 bucket and a refund on the 2.0 bucket. But there is a core trade-off. To hit the maximum payout, this bet demands a relentless 90-minute offensive onslaught. That requirement conflicts with the tendencies of Murat Yakin's coaching staff, who often prefer to play pragmatically and slow the game down with a lead. The Asian handicap is an effective tool for maximizing value, but it relies on Switzerland ruthlessly running up the score against a weak opponent. Bettors often look at the game flow market to bypass margin spreads, specifically the over 2.5 total goals, sitting at -145. The appeal of this bet is protection. If Qatar manages a lucky goal, it helps you, since both teams' scores count toward the total. However, because Qatar is unlikely to score at all, you are paying a heavy -145 premium to rely on Switzerland scoring 3 times by themselves against a packed defense. You should also explicitly avoid the individual player prop market for this match, particularly anytime goal scorers. The Swiss attack rotates frequently, meaning key players like Briel and Bolo often share minutes on the pitch. An unexpected tactical change or a substitution can instantly ruin a player prop, regardless of how well the Swiss offense actually performs. Game flow totals and individual player props introduce too many uncontrolled variables. The mathematical spread markets are the superior choice. Selecting the right wager requires aligning these specific market structures with your individual risk tolerance. Look at the historical baseline for Qatar. They lost all 3 of their 2022 World Cup matches by exactly 2 goals. Combine that with Switzerland's proven ability to execute dominant 4-1 victories when their offense finds its rhythm. Every metric points to a comfortable, multi-goal Swiss margin of victory. Under no circumstances should you accept the -550 moneyline. Smart betting is ultimately about locking in a secure, mathematically sound financial decision that is based on hard evidence. By utilizing Asian lines or spread betting, you can successfully manufacture premium value out of a historically lopsided matchup.